A few tips that I have, if you're not already doing this, I let my son do things at school. So you know how sometimes they have football games or they have a movie on the lawn. I let him go do those things. And I waited to see if he made it home by curfew or if he actually called to let me know, hey, Mom, we running 20 minutes late, but I'm on the way. Because if you're one of those parents that if they got to be home at 11 and you calling at 10:55, you're never going to get to see like how they would naturally handle that. Because I really had to see like if you going to come in and try to sneak and get in the bed or if you communicated with me. If I was you, I would let her friends hang around the house. Even if you had to do something intentional like have a girls' night or a movie night, just something just to see how they interact with each other and see how she interacts with them. Actually see like what kind of friends she have. Like who are the kind of people she's picking saying these are my kind of people. Your children's friend will tell a lot about your child. Because whether we believe it or not, our children sometimes, most of the time, they act completely different how they would act around us. So if your children friends are like wild and just a complete opposite of what your daughter's showing at home, it's something in her that's relatable to them people she picking and calling her friends. I would do things that she actually want to do. A lot of times when you do things that your children are actually interested in, they feel closer to you and you would get a lot of more information out of them without even trying. They would just have natural conversations. So even though people are always saying like, I'm not your little friend, actually work at being her friend. Go places she would like to go. Do things she would like to do. With my son, I did a lot of building. Well, with my children, I do a lot of building. I've been doing this a long time. So I don't want y'all to think like I just started doing this when he turned 18. I've been building my children for a long time. When I tell you a long time, I mean like 5 and 6, I was teaching my children to be self-sufficient. So I went and opened up them bank accounts. I'm going to go get my 14-year-old ID just for the sake of just teaching her how to care about important information. She's 14. What does she need a ID for? But we going to do that. I started teaching my son how to drive really early. Like, start teaching y'all children to be self-sufficient. And I tell my children often, like, you know how all them black parents be like, one day I ain't going to be here. I'm like that. But it's more of a serious thing. One day I'm not going to be here. And you're going to need to go on with life. But I'm going to give you all the tools I possibly can to make sure you can go on with life. A lot of times, parents won't have a conversation with their children about like things something that they did when they was younger because they're too embarrassed about it. And then you wonder why your children don't come and have a conversation with you about the things that they're embarrassed about. I don't come off like I'm imperfect to my children. The more stories you share with your children, the more relatable it comes off. They're more likely to come and talk to you. When I tell y'all some of my children come and talk to me about some of the wildest things that you can imagine, and I just sit there and I listen, but I created an environment for them to do that. My children know I'm one of the realest people they will ever run into. What I'm saying, it might hurt your feelings, but it's not intentional, but I'm always going to be honest with you. When I tell you I talk to my children about random things, I talk to my children about random things, and I don't wait for something to happen, for the conversation to happen. Some days I'm honestly like, y'all come in here, I want to tell y'all something. And it could just be how you gonna meet people that's gonna try to isolate one of y'all and break up y'all bond. But I have conversations with them about like, when you and your sister don't agree on something, don't never go against each other in front of people. Have that conversation outside of the presence of other people because people will play on weak bonds. The people in this house has the best interest at heart for you. Listen to it. You don't get to treat people outside the house better than you treat the people inside the house. You know, sometimes, like, say guys, they will date a girl and they treat their sister like trash, but they go meet a girl in the street and they treat her like gold. I don't play that here. I had to teach my children how to treat each other. I had to teach my children what familyship look like because my family really isn't a family. If y'all could be a fly on the wall and see how we interact in this house, half of y'all would think we weird as hell because it would be so foreign to a lot of people. But we are some of the most loving, most welcoming and nurturing people you will ever come across. Start hanging out with y'all children. Start actually paying attention to them. I think I learned how to be a good parent is because when I was younger, I was going to school for early childhood and I learned like a lot, which I really did need that because I was so young. I didn't know what I was doing. I came from so much brokenness. I had no idea of what to do. I had a conversation with my own daughter about 3 days ago now, and just to talk about it, I can't even talk about it yet because it just still brings tears in my eyes. But I'm gonna share that story. Y'all follow me so when I share this story with my daughter and give y'all her reaction after a few days, because y'all got to hear this. But I just can't talk about it right now without crying. But sorry for getting all off topic. But yeah, those are a few things that I would do.